Welcome everyone to the 209 Journey podcast. I'm your host Luis. First of all, thank you so much to all of our listeners and viewers on the YouTube channel. We really appreciate that. I know it's been a few months since I really recorded something. The last thing that we posted was recorded a few months before then. But now we're actually going to get on a more consistent schedule of posting new episodes. So we are going to aim for an episode every 2 weeks. I hope to sometime actually go back to once a week, but again, I have to get back on the schedule for that. But appreciate all the people that have been following the Instagram page in particular, which is actually really close to 1,000 followers. Right now, it's at about 903 followers. So if you wouldn't mind, if you're not following the 209 Journey, go give them a follow at the 209 Journey on Instagram and help us get to that 1,000 mark that I've been wanting to get to for quite some time. We're that close. We're less than 100 followers away. So tell your friends to go follow the page. I like to share stuff that our past guests are doing on the stories. So you can keep up to date with that. And you can also find out when new episodes get posted. And sometimes also share videos of local businesses, especially past guests that we've had on here, as I go and visit their business and share what they have going on as well. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go and introduce our guest here for episode 9 of season 4. My guest is Xochitl Loza. She's actually the creator of Macaroni KID Modesto. Macaroni KID is an organization that shares different events going on in different communities and also provides a platform for local communities to share other things as well. So she'll be talking a little bit more about how she got the Macaroni KID Modesto and surrounding areas page started and all that is going on around here in the local area, Modesto and other surrounding areas in the 209, because we know there's a lot of things going on and it's great to have a page that can actually give us more of the events happening in town, especially for families who are trying to figure out what to do locally on any given week. So we'll be talking a little bit more about that. But welcome to the 209 Journey podcast, Xochitl. How are you?
Hi, good. Hello. Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for being on. I'm doing good. Really excited to finally be back on this podcast. It's been, like I said, some time that I've actually recorded something, and I just wanted to make sure that people knew that, hey, this podcast isn't going to go away forever. It's not going to be
Yep.
in the history books. Like, it's still going on. So I'm glad that we're able to be back here after all these months. We're able to have you on here, and
Yep.
hoping that we continue the schedule as I mentioned earlier, and we can have more awesome people on the podcast.
Yeah, sounds good. I love it. I love it. I was watching a couple of the other ones. I was like, you guys have literally interviewed so many locals. I was like, I've worked with them before. I hung out with them, like so many people and amazing businesses here in our area. And I was like, oh, what an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, no, and shout out to you for following the page. I mean, I mentioned the Instagram page earlier that we're trying to get to 1,000 followers, and I know there's others like you that follow the page, and I really appreciate that. And you guys get like the some of the first invitations I send out to be on the podcast, because I know you guys are more aware of what this podcast is about, and I like to interview people who know of other guests, and I found that works really great, and people know what this is all about because they've heard the podcast. So thank you for
Yeah, of
listening
course.
to the show.
Hmm.
um, well, as I usually like to start the podcast interviews, and in your situation, I know you moved out to the 209. I want to know a little bit more about your journey out here, right? Not to bring up the podcast name again, but that's the reason why I start with this here. But I know you've been in the 209 for 9 years. You told me you moved out to Manteca in 2016 from the Bay Area, and
Hmm.
then to Salida a year later in 2017. So, first, tell me more about like where you grew up in the Bay Area and how you made it out to Manteca again 9 years ago.
So I grew up in the Bay Area, was born in San Francisco. Then we moved to like South Hayward, Union City area right there. Went to school in Union City and then graduated college, high school, just graduated college. And then all of a sudden I got a job traveling. Um, 10 years later, I meet my husband back, like literally he lived down the street in my like hometown. And he went to the same high school as me and everything. Never met him in my life. And we got married, but he had family in Tracy, and I was like, Tracy, where's that? That's so far. So we came out here and we did the pumpkin patch, Del Oso. And I was like, oh, this is such a great area. How cool, right? Thinking like, but oh wow, it's so far. Well, we got married and then we're like, oh, we should buy a house. So we're like, we cannot afford this in the Bay, right? So I was like, well, I really like the area over there in Tracy and Manteca. So we found my parents actually decided to move this way as well. So they moved to Manteca. So we moved in with them for a little bit, and we found our house in Salida, and that's how we got here. So we were just visiting the pumpkin patch and thought this was so cute, and now we live over here, and I love it. I really, really love it. It's much calmer, much I love it. I really enjoy our area, and that's a lot of the reasons I wanted to do the Macaroni Kid, because people say there's nothing here. Oh, we have a lot of stuff in our area for families, and don't give up on our area, people. We have a lot. So that's
Yeah.
how I ended up over here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, right? Because that's the same reason again for this podcast is just to show people like, look at all the people that are here and what they have going
Exactly.
on. Their stuff. Don't go
Yeah.
far away from here. But yeah, no, they'll also. I mean, they're like just a big landmark, right? I feel like of the 209 when it comes to those
Hmm.
types of things, and they've grown so much. I mean, I remember being a kid and like just driving by there, and it's changed so much over time. And I feel like they just keep adding more and more that I'm like, it's turning into this like theme
It's a
park that
little,
you come
yeah.
across, right?
Yeah,
While
it
you're
is. It
out there.
definitely is. And it wasn't even that big at that time. Now it's like, whoa. You have all the houses in Lathrop, and you're just like, whoa, what happened? That was like 9, 10 years ago. And you're just like, whoa, a lot of things have changed. Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's in like such a great spot, right? Because like you said, coming
Mhm.
from the Bay Area, I mean, you're taking that highway typically, right? If you have any reason to come out here, it's
Exactly.
right there. It stands out. People are like, wait, what is this? Because I mean, I don't know in the Bay Area if there's like a lot of pumpkin patches or to what extent they are like, but I feel
Right.
like they'll also will compete against anything
Oh
they have
yeah.
out there, right? It's like it
Yeah.
feels like it's in the Bay Area, but we have it here in the Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's nothing like Delos over there, obviously. Or any like, Dutch Hollow or anything like that. No, you don't have like farms in the Bay. So yeah, it's great. I loved it. So I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
this is so cool. I love it. Why don't we move here?
Yeah,
So
and shout out to Dutch Hollow Farms. I mean, of course, we've had them on the
mhm.
podcast, but all the things that their team is doing, and we're
Yeah.
recording this, right? It's like about to be fall season, right? Within like really within a day or two, and
Yeah.
so they have a lot going on, and so it's great.
Hmm.
I mean, all the places that we have here, I feel like we get people like yourself, right, that are like making the trip out here for that, and then like
Hmm.
in your case, right, decide like, hey, wait, there's not that much traffic here. Let's go ahead and stay here. And
Exactly.
move out here. And now there's more houses being built, so of course we're getting
Hmm.
more people moving out here, and more things going on out here too. I think with that happening, and more ideas too, which I gotta say it's really great when you get people from the Bay coming out here because they bring the ideas from the Bay out here, right? And then you get more types of businesses. I'm sure in
Hmm.
your case, right, you see events that
Yeah.
maybe we wouldn't have seen otherwise, but people are like, hey, I remember this, that, and let's have
Hmm.
that out here, right?
It's true.
Um,
Yep. Yeah.
well,
That's great.
before we talk about Macaroni Kid, reading like your bio on your website, there are some things that stood out to me that I feel like are really interesting for people to hear more of. First thing, I want to hear more about your participation in the Thanksgiving Macy's parade, especially as that is going to happen here shortly, or in
Yeah.
about like 2 months or so. But apparently, you participated in that when you were a senior in high school. So tell me, like, what was that experience like, and what were you doing at the parade?
So my senior year, I went to James Logan High School, and I was a band geek. Literally, I was a band geek. That's it. I was in the band for 4 years. Well, actually, I started middle school from there, and then I went into high school band, marching band, and we were super competitive. We were on it. So my our teacher at that time, the director, he was like, we're gonna apply for the Thanksgiving parade. And I think it took us like a year or two to hear back. And they're like, yeah, you're approved for 1999. I was like, oh, what? So we all got to go, the whole band, which was like 300 to 400 of us, I think. It was a lot of us. We were there the whole week. A couple chaperones and all of us. I don't know how my parents paid for it, but but
Right.
I was like, wow, that's they paid for that for our trip. And
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. You know, you get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, you start getting ready, you warm up. It's cold, obviously. It's New York, and so at that time it was cold, but it didn't rain or snow, so that was really nice. It was such an experience, though. It was so much fun, and I hope one day that my son gets to like experience something crazy like that. But it was a lot of fun. It's a once in a lifetime thing, obviously, and it was really really cool. So yeah, it was cool. And I remember I still have pictures. And at that time, that was 1999, Thanksgiving, 1999. And I have pictures of like the Twin Towers because they were still there. Like I took a picture and it was like me and my husband were going through pictures like a couple of months ago, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, there's like Twin Towers behind you." I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of weird." So there's still pictures there, and it's just like it was a lot of fun. It was great. It was a great experience. I loved it. So yeah.
Yeah, especially to be chosen, right? Because I feel like, I mean,
Hmm.
I don't even know how many applicants, I'm sure, like around the
Oh, I
country
know.
try and be at that, right? I mean, it's
Hmm.
limited space, and to get chosen, it's like you said, it's a
Yeah.
once in a lifetime thing
Yeah.
to be able to say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, super cool. It was really cool. I'm wondering if any of our high schools, local high schools, would ever like apply for something like that, because that would be amazing. What a great opportunity for them to do. So
Yeah, that would be
yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I'm wondering, if only I knew, I'm like, in the history, right, as a high school, not just in Modesto, but just around the 209, like, has there been any high
Yeah.
school? So, I mean, if anyone's listening and knows of the history of the
Yeah.
parade, then, like, let me know. That would be real interesting to know if there's been a high school, which I feel like we have so many around here
Hmm.
that, has actually been a part of it at one point. And if anyone does know, let me know, and it'd be great to interview someone
Yeah,
who
it would
wasn't
be
that,
so cool.
right, from
Hmm.
here. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just to get chosen is, I'm sure quite an honor to like be there, and especially with the audience, and especially in those years, right, where I felt like,
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have like phones, right? More people were actually glued to the
Right.
TV,
Yeah.
and we're looking forward to that, waking up early, right, and watching that.
Yeah, I know. I remember we had my mom, like we had a like Macy's Thanksgiving Parade sweatshirt, and my mom literally wears that every Thanksgiving still. She still wears it, and I'm like, Mom, this is like 26 years now, 25, 6 years. I'm like, wow, you still have that sweatshirt, but she's proud of it. My mom is so proud of that. I'm like,
Yeah.
you paid for that, Mom. You paid for that sweatshirt. But yeah, it was great. It was a great experience.
Oh, that's really cool. Now, there's got to be like a VHS recording somewhere, right? Of like,
Yes,
yeah.
actually somebody uploaded that onto YouTube a couple years ago. They went around my class, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is oh, that's so crazy." Yeah, yeah. There's got to be VHSs though, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be so
Mhm.
cool to be like in the national spotlight, and just
Mhm.
everyone like could see it. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
uh,
really cool. It was fun.
that's yeah, that's really awesome. Well, that was one, but there's another thing that I also caught my eye. So you actually got the chance to be a sound engineer at a theater. So
Mhm.
tell me more about like what that's like, what like your role is when you're out there doing sound engineer for a play.
Yeah, so since I was in high school, the music was a big thing for me, right? So after high school, I was like, what am I gonna do with this? I didn't want to perform. I was like, I'm not a performer like that. So I decided to do like the behind the scenes kind of like sound engineer. And so I went to school for that at Expressions College for Digital Arts in Emeryville. So I did a whole 3, 4 years there, got my bachelor's, and then from there, I started applying different places. I was like, oh, where am I going to apply? What am I going to do? So like in that course, we were able to do like post production with video games, like audio games, and we also did like movies and just a little bit of everything for to see what we really liked. And my what really caught my eye was like live sound. So I was able to get a job doing live theater throughout the Bay Area, and then I got a job in Florida at Club Med at a resort, and I was doing sound at a resort. So I got to live there for 6 months, and I I slept. on the resort. I mingled with the guests, but we also put shows on, and whatever audio needed to be done on the resort is what I was doing. So I did that for a couple months, and then I moved back home, found a job in Palm Springs doing sound for a theater. It was called the Palm Springs Follies, and that show included showgirls that were over 60 years old. Or actually
Oh,
55. So you saw these older women on stage that were like 50, 60, almost 70, doing high kicks and dancing for two hours straight, and you're just like, you're amazing. But I'm over here back doing my sound, sitting there doing the sound, and they're like just dancing, singing, and for 2 straight hours. And I'm like, this is amazing.
wow.
So I did that kind of show. And then finally what brought me back was like, I want to stay home. I want to be back at home. So I was able to get a job at Berkeley Repertory Theater in Berkeley. And so I worked there till we moved back over here, actually, to Salida. So I was commuting. The commute wasn't too bad because it was nights and weekends. So that was okay. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It was, you get to talk to, all the artists, you get to be with all the artists, you talk to them, hang out with them. It's a little bit of everything. It gets crazy sometimes, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure, especially like when you're trying to figure out, okay, what's wrong, or like
Oh yeah. Oh
no,
yeah.
no
Yeah.
audio, and
Yeah. You really definitely have to be on your toes. And I think that's what I loved about it. It was like you have to if a mic goes off in like 2 seconds, you have to like figure it out. You're like, oh god, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? So I think that is what I liked about it. You needed to figure out what's going on. How do I fix this? We need to fix this now. So
yeah.
yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it was good times.
Well, that's cool that you got the chance to like get a few the different places, and that, yeah, that's a really
Yeah,
good commute to go
yeah,
opposite of traffic, and
yeah,
weekend travels to the Bay Area are much better. And
yeah, for
so
sure, for sure. Hmm.
that's really great. So nowadays, like, do you still like do like anything around the theater? Do you volunteer at theaters, or like are you involved around any theaters?
I'm not, and
No.
it makes me sad. It does, but I feel like I need to do something with the theater locally because I love doing that. It's so much fun, But I also have my son, and it's like it's a lot of work. Like, and that's part of the reason. Um, when I stopped working theater was nights and weekends. It got really hard. Like it's so hard to have kids when you're doing those kind of shifts, especially you're commuting to the Bay and you're just like, I can't do this. I can't. It sucks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Especially even at night, right? I mean, it's still a
Hmm.
good drive out there and drive
Oh
back,
yeah.
and
Yeah, for sure.
all that. And I'm sure the commitment of having to do like what a few shows or like back and forth,
Hmm.
right? Like different things, yeah.
Yeah.
So it adds up.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
well, let's go ahead and start talking a little bit about Macaroni Kid.
Okay.
And I think for the audience, it would be helpful for them to like realize more about like what Macaroni Kid is, right? Because it's a nationally based
Hmm.
organization, and you happen to become a publisher here in our area. So, like, can you tell us more about like what Macaroni Kid is, and then how you got involved with being a publisher for them?
Sure. So Macaroni Kid's been around since 2008, I believe it was. That's when it started. So it's been around for a really, really long time. It's national. We have different territories or cities that we all publish. So it's built of a bunch of local parents who decide to publish in your area. We publish events, articles, spotlight local businesses. We have a little bit of everything on our websites. But the main thing is our calendar. We pull events from everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, you know, city websites, everything, and we put them on our website. So parents have one spot where they can just go and be like, "Hey, everything's on here," and you don't have to like, "Oh, where did I see this event? Like, huh, I forgot what or what time was it at?" And then you're looking, you're like, "I don't know where I saw it," because I literally do that sometimes
Mm.
too, right? So yeah, we have a little bit of everything on there, and my son is 6 years old, and he started kindergarten last year. And I was like, and so since we moved, so backtrack, sorry. So we since COVID happened and he was born, I stopped working theater. So COVID, of course, theaters were closed, right? So I couldn't work either way. So from there, I just stayed at home, was watching my son, and then everything started opening it up, and then he started kindergarten, and I was like, what am I going to do with myself? I was like, I can't do theater because the hours are horrible. But one day I got an email and it was like, oh, we're looking for a publisher in your area. And I was like, what? So I Googled it. I'm like, let me see. Is this real? Is this,
Yeah.
So, I started researching Macaroni KID, and I had followed them when my nephews were smaller in the Bay Area. There's a publisher there, and she's been there for like 14, 15 years, publishing Fremont area site, that whole Bay Area site. And, so it's legit. I was like, okay, it's legit. I used to use them and with my nephews. So I'm like, okay. So, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if Modesto has one. Like, how does this work? And so I looked it up, and we did have a publisher here, but I think it had been like 5 years since COVID-ish times that she gave up the site. So I was like, oh, that sucks. So we hadn't had anything here for a while. So I was like, well, my son's going to start going to go to school. Let's like, maybe this is a good idea. I talked to my husband about it. I was like, this is great. There's so many like people need this in our area. Why don't I just start it, right? And he's like, it's up to you. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'll do it. So I signed up. I went through everything, and yeah, it's been probably one of the best things that I've started and did for myself, and possibly maybe our community too. I get so much good feedback from parents and family saying, I love your website. It's super helpful for us. I try to keep our events on our website free to very low cost because I know how hard it is right now and expensive for families. We can't, a lot of us can't afford big events that cost a lot, especially ones that have more than one child. So our events on our website are low to like super free to low cost. That's what I try to keep it. So so yeah, and that's how I took over Macaroni Kid Modesto. But from there, I started the social media, and that's something I was not expecting myself to do is like actually grow so much on social media. But I know that's where families are as well, and that's where people are looking for things. So I really grew a lot in the last year. It's only been a year and a couple months, and
Oh,
my following has really grown. I started, yeah, it's only been a year. Started August last year.
wow.
So yeah, so I've grown a lot. But it's a great community, Macaroni Kid. I have great we have publishers in Stockton, Lodi. We don't have we have one in Riverbank. I actually also do Mountain House-Manteca Tracy, so I literally do all do all of those events as well. I'm a little crazy. I got a little crazy. I was like, I'm gonna take everything on. But it's been great. It's been a great experience with Macaroni Kid, and I love it. It's been fun.
Yeah.
So
No, it's really cool that you're able to also like get it to their communities right now. Did they have someone too, or did you like start the new pages for those three cities?
so Mountain House, Manteca and Tracy, there was a publisher there. So she stopped in January, and right when she gave up the site, I was like, I'm gonna take over.
Oh yeah.
And so everybody's like, okay, go for it. And I was like, okay, I'm crazy. I'm gonna go crazy, but whatever, it's okay. And then one of my girlfriends actually just took over Riverbank. So it's like it's we know we have events in Riverbank, Oakdale, and all that stuff. And the thing with our territories, we can't put events that are out of our territory. So I was like, you need to do you need to take Oakdale, and Riverbank and all that. Do it over there. She's like, okay. So she started up her own website as well. We still need someone in Turlock. So if anybody needs, takes over
Oh,
Turlock. But it's great. Families come to us for events. They're like, oh, what's going on this weekend? I'm like, I don't know. Look on our website. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. I'm glad you mentioned that. So anyone listening who's like, hey, I want to actually like do something like that, well, there's a
Yeah.
opportunity there for people, and Sherlock has a lot going on. I mean,
Oh
you have
yeah.
stuff at Stan State they put, for
Mm-hmm.
communities. So like, yeah, there should be plenty,
Mm-hmm.
plenty of
Yeah,
people
for
there.
sure. Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
Well, for the people watching, for the people listening, check out the video so you can actually like see the actual like calendar. But I'm gonna share it on the screen here. Some of the events that are listed on here, and so I want to hear more from you in terms of like some events that come to mind, and also like organizations that like continuously maybe you see that like put on events that get on this list? And also, I want to know, like, if someone has an event that they want to share, are you the one who publishes it, or like, is there a way for them to actually like publish it on the page themselves? How's that process like?
So on our physical page, on that page right there, if you go up, there's a thing that says enter submit event. There you go, right
Mhm.
there. And anybody can submit any of their events that's family. I love to go family friendly, but if it's a different kind of event, maybe like a mom's night out or what or anything like that, parents night out, you could throw it on there as well. So anything family friendly, we are more open. So just throw anything you want on there. That's free to low cost, and it'll be popping up on our event page for sure. So yeah, it's and then our events. We have a lot. I try to put like the farmers markets on there. We have like next week we have the touch a truck for right there in Modesto. There's story times. I throw story times. There's story times all over. We have some that are bookish. I know you guys just re, did an interview with bookish owners. So yeah, this is I do all the library events that happen for free are on there. The Gallo has the story time as well on I think on Friday. Is it Saturdays or Fridays or yeah, in the
Fridays.
music. Yeah. So yeah, different things. I know our library in Modesto is closed until next year. But they do have the pop-up and sometimes they'll have little events, but not as many. So I put Salida on there because that's where a lot of the workers from the library went. So they do that. So they're all over here in Salida for that library. But yeah, just different events happening locally, and you're anybody's more than welcome to submit their own that they're having. So yeah.
Okay. So once they submit them, like they just get added right away, or is there like an approval
Yeah,
process then?
so yeah, I'll just make sure it comes through me and I'll just make sure like we have the price, the correct date and time and everything, and then I'll approve it right away. Yeah. So as long as everything's
Okay.
correct in there, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. I can't wait till the library reopens too, and it's great
I
that they're
know.
remodeling it. I mean, I think it needed a good remodel for a
Yeah,
while. It looked
yeah.
like it was still the same since I'd gone there as a kid. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
they're doing that. They're there for them.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
Now, I know that you also like are involved around the community, right? You also put up like some craft events. So, like, are there events that you have going on like the upcoming months that you want to share, and also maybe also speak on past things that you've done, just to like get an idea of things that you've worked on?
Yeah. So usually well for since Domo started this season, we've been there every month. And what I do is I bring a craft for kids. It's a free craft for families. And I set up little tables for the kids and different crafts every time. So that's one of the events that I'll do every month. We won't be here the last one, which makes me sad. It's okay though. My son's on fall break that week. So we're like, we're going to do something. So we're not doing the last Domo, which makes me sad. But we will be back next season for sure with crafts and events. I mean, crafts for the families just to do at Domo. But we have the Gallo Family Fun event that is happening on the 28th, Sunday, 28th of September. And we're bringing a craft there. And that's, we're doing little, well, every craft is different. I think this one, I'm going to do little like twirlers, we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, I'll set up the table and have families just come in, and I'll talk to them while their kids are doing a craft about like any events that they want to see, or what they want to see on our website. I'm always open to any suggestions on what families want to see on our website. That is my also main thing. I love to talk to families and be like, hey, what do you want to see on this
Mhm.
website? Because you're the ones that are coming to it. And that's what I'll talk to them. And then I also am doing the Dia de los Muertos event downtown Modesto in October. That's going to be a really fun event. It's going to be all day, and we'll do a little craft there. I'm still trying to figure out which one I want to do there. Something fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yes, it's free craft for the kids, and the parents can do it too. Shoot.
Yeah.
And then on Saturdays, the first Saturday of the month, I do a craft for donuts, coffee, and cartoons at the state. So before the movie, I show up with my little craft, and I try to do it themed. So this last one was Mulan. That was the first Saturday of this month at the state. It was Mulan, and I did little lanterns, so that was fun. And everybody got a little tea light. And then when you walked in, you saw the little lanterns in the dark theater, and it was like so cute.
Oh,
So it was so cute. So there's just different things like that. I do that kind of just bringing awareness to our website, to Macaroni Kid, and yeah, that's what I'll do.
yeah. No, that's really cool that you do all that. Aside from the events that people post on there, that like
Mhm.
you're able to, be out there in the community and do these activities so people are more aware of like, hey, like, if you want to do more of these, like,
Yeah.
you know, there's other like events
Mhm.
too, right? For weeks when you're not
Yeah.
able to be out there. Well, I want to go back on the website because on the website, as some people may have seen watching the screen that I just shared here earlier, you have more than just events, right? You also have articles that you share on there. So tell me more about the articles that like you write there. Are you the only one that writes these articles, and just kind of how do these articles come about?
So I'm the one that usually writes them, but I did open it up to, I would love high schoolers who are writers from any high school in our area to send me their work, and I would love to feature whatever they have. That's one of my things I was looking for last before school ended, that like this last before summer. And so I'm trying to find high schoolers to do that. So I would love to, to publish their work. That would be amazing. Like, how cool would that be? I would love it if I was a senior or a high school student. But yeah, we have things that are from that I write. We also have things from headquarters, from National Macaroni Kid, that throw articles on there for us, just to have different things. And you do crafts and different, they'll usually do craft ones and different, like the meteor one right there. They put that together, the Macaroni headquarters and stuff. So yeah, it's just a little bit of both. Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah.
well, yeah, that's really cool. I hope that you get like volunteers out there that are willing to,
Hmm.
put their work out there, because it's always cool when you can have like anything you write be published there, especially local things that help the community, right? Because I see that some of
Hmm.
these articles are like based out of like events also going on, right? Is
Hmm.
that kind of how you formulate the articles? Is based on like this events going on, so like write more about that?
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. If it's a big event, like we know Mochimu right now has their chalk art walk happening. So I did an article on that, and that's happening it started today. So it's from here today to the 26th. They're doing that. Um, they are doing art around the community. So I think there's one in Ripon, there's some in Modesto, um, Escalon, and one more. Where else was that? Oh, and Turlock as well. So those areas is where they'll have the chalk art this week and into the 26th. So
Oh, that's really cool. So, how does that work with the chalk art? Like anyone just kind of goes and could do their
so
own art, or?
I believe they partnered with the art council, the Stanislaus Art Council, I believe it was, and then they have their artists going out to these areas, those right there, and they're drawing things on the floor. So it's like like a little like hopscotch kind of, well, like kind of like that, kind of COVID times
Oh
when
yeah.
those were really popular. So kind of like little jumping fun things to play with it for the kids. That's what they're doing. So yeah, I'm actually probably going to try to head out today to see if they did any in Ripon yet. So I'm going to go that way first, and then bookish Modesto tomorrow or Tuesday to check it out and see what they have. Yeah, so it's fun for the kids and the families just to see the art. Chalk artists are amazing. It's so hard. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I don't know how they do it, right? Because I'm like, if you want to erase something, but it's on like the
Yeah,
ground, like
exactly. I'm
it
like,
was
I
hard
could
enough
never.
to erase at the board, right? I'm like,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
do
I
you
could
do
never.
that?
Drawing was not my thing, but yeah.
Especially with the chalk, right? I feel like it's kind of
Hmm.
hard, right? I mean, it's easier maybe painting because you have different like brushes, but with the
Yeah.
chalk, I'm like, how do you? I don't know. They must have some special kind of chalk, I guess, that
Yep,
allows you to do more like
exactly.
straight lines and just the yeah, all that. I don't know. It's amazing that they do that and to be able to do it in the ground, right? And actually give ground
Exactly.
some art. You have
Yeah.
walls where you could put art, but to do it in
Yeah.
the ground, yeah, that's really awesome. Especially the locations where it's at from Modesto, right there
Hmm.
at Bookish, at the Virginia Trail. I've had the chance
Hmm.
to go running there a lot, and just to see that is a great place.
Yeah,
But
for
I'm
sure.
glad that they're all over. All these four different
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. It's gonna be nice. I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from articles, guides is also something else that you find on the website, right? So, like,
Hmm.
tell me more about the guides
Oh
that
yeah.
are on here.
So my guides are a little bit of everything. Like I have the fall guide where it has all the pumpkin patches that are local, and then I have a list of all the fallish events that are happening. So Halloween and fall events are on there as well. And it's just a whole list. Finding all the trunk or treats. They're all on there. Um, yeah, I like literally they're all coming up. They're gonna pop up.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's on there. Those are all so far. I know more will be popping up. I know. So I'll keep updating with different trunk or treats and different fall Halloween events will be popping up for sure. So I have that. I have a guide on I really love supporting our educators on our website. Our teachers are like they work so hard. So I love supporting them. We have a school fundraising guide there that I just started working on, looking for more businesses that do support our local schools. They're always, I know I work with a local PTG, and they always like, oh, do you know who gives back like a percentage for like their food when they sell at for our school or whatever, that kind of thing. That's where this guide comes in. We have local businesses. I would love to have more local, not like franchised ones, but they
Mhm.
do give back as well. But Funworks, um, all these places give back to our schools, and just yeah, it's a great place. I also have an article every month where it's a donors choose. Donorschoose.org is a website where educators can go and ask for funds to like say they're looking for new tabling, new seating for their class. And schools are having a really hard time like with budget cuts, so they can't afford a lot. Um, so that's where that comes in. I literally go onto Donors Choose and I like choose 5 random teachers. I've never talked to them. I don't,
Yeah.
I've never seen them. I just literally put our area code in there and I'm like, okay, so this teacher is not funded yet. Let me throw her on my website. This teacher, he has this. Okay, let's throw it. So I literally picked like 5 teachers and I hope and pray that someone on our website is like, hey, I'll donate like $5 today or something. So it's just another push for them to get out there and try to get funded for whatever they need for their classrooms. So that's what I do every month for that for teachers for sure. So yeah, our guides have a little bit of everything and our articles.
So,
Yeah.
for that thing that you mentioned, where can you find that? Is that like under one of the
It's
guides
on
or
it's on the articles. So
it's on there? Oh, okay. People can
yeah,
find the list right there, or it's one of them.
yeah, yeah. So like
Okay.
the
Oh, I
right
see it
right
right
there.
there. The five
Yeah.
local donors chose projects to support.
Yep. Yep. So then I'll just pick random teachers from our area and I'll be like, okay, this is their projects for that they need for this month. I'll put their link and everything and yeah, hoping they get some sort of funding for whatever they need for their classroom. So, yeah.
Well, that's really
Yes.
cool. I'm glad that, on the Macaroni Kid website you find all these like different things, and some people who just want to like get back to the community can have this,
Mhm.
and it's all in like one spot. So I mean, I really
Mhm.
hope other cities can get their own Macaroni Kid, just like Sherlock, as we mentioned. Anyone
Yeah.
listening,
Yeah.
get on it and start your own page too, because you're right. We need more of this, and we need people to have a one central source for everything too. And I think
Yeah.
with the Instagram page for the people who are on Instagram a lot, it really helps to be able to save things. I know I often do that whenever you come across something, you're like, I want to go back and remember
Mhm.
when this is, right? Just save
Yeah.
it or send it to someone and then go back and reference it. But it's great to have that listed on the Instagram
Yeah.
page as well, which we'll go ahead and actually share that there. So when it comes to Instagram, do you share a little bit of everything, like anything that's new on the website, or what's your approach to the Instagram page at MacKid Modesto CA?
Um, so in my stories, I literally share any events that are happening. Um, if I find something, okay, I'll share it right away. Like any local events that are happening in now or in the future, that's what I'll share on there. Well, I also highlight different businesses that are, we were out at the we were at the night market, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not taking a video of Laughing Crow, I mean. And so my son was buying a Spider-Man. So so I was like, let me do a quick video. He's like, okay, yeah, of course. So I did a quick video. I just like to highlight what we have in our community. A lot of people never been to different stores here locally. They're like, wait, we have that store?
Yeah.
Or we have that that restaurant? Like, what? This store was amazing when we went on Friday. I was like, oh wow, you guys have a lot of games. My husband and my son were like, please. I'm like, I don't know. What are you guys gonna buy today? So yeah, just different highlights on businesses that are local, and I try to do more family ones, family friendly ones, family businesses. But we're we're all, we're all something. A business always has something to offer families. If it's either food, games, or whatever it is. So yeah, yeah, just a little bit of everything on there. I have random posts here and there. Yeah. So,
Yeah. No, I think it's really good that you have that like video aspect of like for the businesses, right? Because you don't
mhm,
always get to see that, or people just might look at a review page or a picture,
mhm.
but you gave like a really like almost in a really quick video, you actually gave a good overview of like, oh, this is what the store
Yeah.
is like, which I mean, shout out to Laughing Crow. Like I actually found out about them from a conference that I went to in Sacramento. And I
Oh,
didn't
nice.
realize either, just like you mentioned, there's people that don't realize it, that they
Yeah.
were based out of here, out of my hometown. And then I finally got the chance to go check them out. And yeah, they have a really extensive
Yeah.
collectible collection there for video games and all that stuff. And it's really awesome to see that we have businesses like that. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes you
Mhm,
just have to take a quick 30-second video, and
mhm,
it makes a big difference for them to put it out there, and then people are finding
mhm.
out about it, and that's all that happens there. So yeah,
Yeah,
we,
that's
we need
cool.
more of that. And like for anyone who has an audience, anyone who has a page on Instagram, like take video
Yeah.
of your favorite place locally, and let's give them
Yeah.
more publicity, right? Because it's not easy to have a
Yeah.
local business and have the person that could do this for you, and just rely on reviews, right? People are watching
Yeah.
videos, and this pops up, and especially at the beginning, right, where they could actually see the location, the name,
Yeah.
really quick for them without having to search through the whole description, right? Because I feel like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
sometimes the not as easy, right? Some people hide it in the description. It's like, no, just say where it's at.
Yeah. I like to like, Pam, this is where it's at, and this is the name. This is where it's at. So go support them, please. Yeah, it's so hard right now for local businesses. Yeah, it sucks.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah.
But thankfully, we have, social media, and there's a way to, just
Mhm.
put it out there. And I always say, like I mentioned, just put a video out there, and videos do really well, right? You get more
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
watching them, and more than even just like a regular post. And you'll have people sharing them with other people. I know I've come
Mhm.
across like local things to do, and I'll share it with other people, and I'm like, oh, look at this, look at that, and you end up going, right? Just because you get
Yeah.
that visual view of that. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something on the page there.
Yeah.
Um, well, I got just two more questions. One,
Mhm.
if people want to follow the Instagram page, want to check out the website, where can people find Macaroni Kid Modesto?
On Instagram, Mac Kid Modesto CA, and then Facebook is Macaroni Kid Modesto. I just started a TikTok, and that's a whole different world for me. But it's Mac Kid Modesto CA as well. I'm trying to be cool with the cool kids on TikTok. It scares me, but we'll be fine. So I just joined TikTok, and then on our website's on modesto.macaronikid.com. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I share the same like feeling with TikTok too. I don't have one on the on the like podcast page right here, but I feel like at some point I need to start one just because
Hmm.
there's more people that are on there that aren't able
Yeah,
to
it's
receive,
scary, but
the
it's fine.
podcast. So yeah, it's great to have another one, especially when you could just maybe reuse the same videos and put them on
Exactly.
there, and then just let other people who might not have Instagram like actually see them. So
Yeah, you get
yeah,
that a lot. People are like, "I don't have Instagram." I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay." But they're like, "I have TikTok," and I'm like, oh, "Okay, okay." So yes, that's what I've been doing is I'm trying to like upload all my videos from Instagram to TikTok. So it's slowly getting there, slowly getting there.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a work in progress, but it's nice,
Hmm.
right? Because it's new for them, even if it's a older
Yeah.
video, and then people still share it, and then you build from what I hear, you build an audience much quicker on there, which is
Come on.
really great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's good and
uh,
like you're like, "Oh, okay." Yeah.
um, well, last question before I let you go. Is there anything else you'd like to share that we didn't talk about yet? Like anything else going on?
No, I just want to say thank you, and I really appreciate the families here locally in Modesto and the Central Valley, all the way to Mountain House, really accepting me, my craziness. I'm just always just like, I work a lot behind the scenes for our families, so that way they know what's going on, and I also do it for local businesses as well. I want them to be seen and know that I am here to help them as well. Get out there for families to see them. So, yeah, so I appreciate everyone. And I'm actually a real mom that's behind the websites and the socials, um, who has a son in first grade now. And my husband thinks I'm just crazy, but doing all this by myself. But no, I really do work hard for our community. So yeah, thank you for following me and being here.
Yeah, well, that's really awesome. And again, I think for anyone who wants to like collaborate on the website, be sure to reach out to you, and just get involved with this, because I think there's a lot more that can be done, right? A lot more that
Hmm.
people can contribute to, and it's great that they can have a platform where they can get more visibility into their like local events and all that without having to spend a dime and having to
Hmm.
advertise that. Or I mean, they might not have
Hmm.
the money for that, so it's great for them to have an avenue where they could, free of charge, actually just share their message. And so
Hmm.
hopefully the page keeps growing. I mean, that's amazing to get, like almost 7,000 followers in such a
No,
short amount
it's
of time.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
hopefully next year it's at like 15,000, and you get more people that are using the page as their guide, their go-to, right, to figure out what's going on this week for families to do, right? And especially, like I said, in this holiday season where I feel like there's so much, and it could be
Hmm.
overwhelming, right? To even
Yeah.
remember, like, where was that? Where was that? Was it here? Oh
Hmm.
no, it was somewhere else. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to know where it's at. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, I mean, thank you so much for being on the podcast again. Just for everyone, check out the socials. If you're on the video, I've been having them like run there in the bottom of the video there, and then the website link is on there. We'll link to it on the episode notes as well for anyone who wants to get the direct link. It'll be on there. But yeah, I really appreciate your time here on the podcast, and hope to see the page keep on growing and more events like happening as well.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope you're gonna hit 1,000 soon. So you got this too. Thank you. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you hosting me here.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to get to that point, and then the next goal might be like 2,500, and then we'll keep going
Yes.
after that, and eventually, the goal is to interview someone from every like city slash town in 209, and some of the smaller ones are a little more challenging, but
Hmm.
we'll get there at one point, and then just keep on growing the list of guests from all these different cities, towns around the 209.
Hmm.
But yeah, well, yeah, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
I can't wait to like make it out to like a craft event, and be able to share that on the stories for this podcast, and invite people to go out to the events that you also put on yourself.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much to all of our viewers or listeners that tune into the podcast. I always appreciate you guys for listening, or again watching the episodes. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to try and post episodes once every 2 weeks for now, but eventually, hopefully, go back on a weekly schedule here as the months go on. But really appreciate for those of you who have stuck around. Again, I'm not going to go on a hiatus as long as I did before. We're gonna have more episodes here on the podcast, so just tune in. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, if any of you listening right now, if you know someone who should be on the podcast, feel free to send me a message on any of the socials that you guys will see here for the 209 Journey, whether it's at the 209 Journey on Instagram or on Facebook, or directly on the website, the209journey.com. You can contact me on there. Let me know, maybe you yourself would like to be a guest on the show, and we'll have you on here. As always, if you're new to the show, we interview people from the 209, whether you were born and raised here, or you moved out here, or maybe you were from here and then maybe you went out and are doing other things in your career. It'd be great to have you on here on the podcast. Again, just send a message, let me know your story, and then I'll reach out to you as I'm able to, and we'll see if we can get you scheduled on the podcast here in the future. So with that being said, once again, thank you so much for watching or listening to the podcast, and you'll hear me again in 2 weeks here on the 209 Journey podcast.